freshest game in my mind is the closest one, in which the Saints played the Bucs. And I can tell you right now that the Saints kind of sucked, and that was expected.
They should have lost to the Bears if they played a more competent football team last week. That team is never and will never be a playoff team, and they're screwed this year with $100 million over the cap. So the Saints will be a bad football team, probably finish last in their division next season.
Yeah, but what? You do feel bad for Brees, though. It's his last game. He throws 3 picks. I mean, he's had a great career and stuff, but, like, that's just that's a little.
Brian made a good point, though. I mean, he really only won 1 Super Bowl. He has all these records. He won 1 Super Bowl and went to the conference championship. What? I don't know how many times,
Twice,
but less than a handful, less than 5.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I mean, so I guess it's like you look at Brees, you're like, wow, he's probably the most accurate passer of all time. But then when you look at his accolades, you look at his stats and they're phenomenal too. But then you look at his accolades like conference championships and Super Bowls, you're like,
yeah. He doesn't have great accolades at all. It's just like he did have a good career.
It doesn't even have to be Super Bowl wins because Tom Brady in his era, in the Brady era, Brady dominated the Super Bowl. It's just even going to the Super Bowl, he couldn't even get out of his own conference more times than not. So
Eli Manning has had a more successful career if you want to judge it based off of championships.
He's a Hall of Fame quarterback, but
I just don't think Drew Brees is that good anymore.
I think he's retiring at the right time. I think that if he went back to playing, especially after what happened this year, that's just pushing it.
Well, the main issue with Brees this year was his deep ball accuracy and his inability to, I guess, when the pot to wait and find an open receiver instead of trying to force it into double coverage. Now, Michael Thomas got hurt. He's his best receiver, but you saw yesterday, Slant Mike had 0 catches. So, I mean, Michael Thomas is not a good receiver. He's not a great receiver. We can establish that. I don't think Michael Thomas is that good. His numbers are just beefed because of the amount of targets he gets a game. And for Drew Brees, he put up early in the year, he threw to Alvin Kamara for 130 receiving yards in a game to his running back, because that's the only guy he throws to now. That's the only guy he threw. I never thought Drew Brees was that good this year. I didn't think that offense was good, which I thought at times it was more explosive.
I mean, I don't want to go back to the Titans game, but I'm just going to mention that because you mentioned that Kamara got a ton of pass yards, but they should have done that with freaking Derrick Henry if they wanted to win. Just get him in open space, but they didn't. That's the last time we're talking about the Titans.
But a quarterback is hit the end of his rope when he starts checking down 13 times a game.
Yeah.
And he's refusing to throw it deep. And when he does, he can't hit the open man. And if he does, he throws an interception and triple coverage. He is so afraid of just getting hit and getting taken down and getting hurt because he got absolutely popped this year, broke multiple ribs.
Yeah.
So you can tell he gets hit. He might. I mean, it could be bad.
Die.
Right. So he's in his mind, get the ball out as fast as I can. Check downs, Mike Thomas, which didn't work, and I don't think the Saints were a 13-3 team.
Yeah, their offense wasn't going at all. I mean, they got the spark early from their special teams, from their punt returner. I mean, is
that New Orleans special teams or Tampa Bay being absolutely
Tampa Bay being terrible.
They're putting the special in special teams.
Yes. Yikes. Well, also you can argue that. Well, I'm saying that they got a spark from their punt return team.
Yeah.
Tampa sucks on special teams, and I mean New Orleans took advantage of that, but they weren't able to cash it for touchdowns. They were just getting field goals.
Exactly what happened against the Rams, and those Saints fans will continuously complain about how they didn't get to the Super Bowl because of the bad call. Well, guess what, guys? You kicked 3 field goals inside the 10-yard line. You got to score touchdowns. They did the same thing yesterday, and you're not going to win games when you're just kicking short field goals. That team is so bad in the red zone. I feel like whenever I watch them, they don't score touchdowns.
Yeah. I mean, they only got into the red zone twice. Tampa Bay got into the red zone 6 times. I mean, they were both 50%, but, I mean, more times you get into the red zone, more times you're able to cash in.
Exactly.
Tampa Bay is not necessarily known throughout the league as one of the best defenses in the league. They're
up and coming.
Even New Orleans had a great defense.
They're young.
The Rams they're not a top 5 defense. They might need to be top 10. And they're not necessarily the team that's going to force a lot of turnovers, but they got 3 picks. And they forced a fumble. I mean, That was that's 4 turnovers, and New Orleans only lost by 10 points. So imagine if New Orleans was turnover free. We might be dealing with a different game. But New Orleans turned over 4 times. Yeah. I mean, they only lost by 2 scores, and they turned it over 4 times.
Yeah.
It's
huge.